Oh my.
It's all good.
Okay, that's the second time this has happened. Hi everyone, welcome to our Eurovision stream. We are going
Hey
to
guys.
be kind of recapping what we did. Kind of didn't notice I had myself on or had us on mute for the last 5 minutes. So it's a big
hmm
it's a big stream. We're gonna just kind of give you a quick rundown of things happening. Um, on the site first, we did do Jordan did do two interviews. So do you want to go ahead and talk about that, Jordan?
Yeah, you guys. So I actually had the awesome opportunity of interviewing two automatic qualifiers from Norway's Melodi Grand Prix. If you check on the Eurovision Fam YouTube channel, then you'd be able to see that I interviewed Christian Ingebrigtsen and Elsie Bay. And Christian Ingebrigtsen is actually going to be performing this Saturday his song "Wonder of the World." He's not going to be competing in the heat, but you will see a preview of kind of what it's going to look like before he actually goes to compete in the grand final. It was a really great pleasure to talk to him. He's like super knowledgeable, super just like kind, and I really enjoy getting the chance to essentially like learn the story behind his song. Not to mention, I also interviewed Miss Elsie Bay, which is one of the current favorites to win Melody Grand Prix. And she was just absolutely amazing to talk to. She's also the songwriter of Hammer of Thor. And if you remember Witchwoods from last year, she wrote that song as well. Yeah, talking to her was just a lot of fun. She's like really funny. And yeah, I'm really glad I got the chance to talk to her. I'm gonna close this door really quick. But yeah, the reason why I say that like she's like so much fun to talk to, it's because like her song is just like so dark and like romantic and like kind of like sultry, but her actual personality shines so it's just so bright and so much like fun is all I can really say. So by all means, go to the Eurovision Fam YouTube channel, check out those interviews, and look forward to some more interviews that we have coming up in this season. We have both editorial interviews and video interviews that are going to be coming up as we get further along in the season. So thank you guys for that. And it looks like we actually have a topic coming right up
Yeah.
now about the Polish national final.
Sorry. One more quick thing. I'll have like a link in the description box and in the cards for the interviews that we did on the video version. And for the
Yep.
editorial interviews, as always, check out our site, EurovisionFam.com. So, yeah,
Uh-huh.
we're going to hop into this because, like we said, we've got a lot of stuff we're going to be covering today. We're going to start off with the Polish national final. We have the acts revealed who will be competing, the 10 acts revealed that will be competing. I don't know about you, Jordan, but I was expecting an artist, not a national final.
Oh yeah, same.
I was like, okay, yeah, we're gonna, and then national final. I was like, okay, well, I guess everyone's getting a national final this year.
hmm
So I'm gonna just read the artist names and their songs, and then we'll go back and discuss a couple of the songs that maybe stood out to us so far. So we have Anina Bryson with the song Dokad. Emilia Debska, or Mila, is also what she's professionally known as, with the song All I Need. Lydia Coppagna with the song Why Does It Hurt? Daria with Paranoia, Siostri Slalacha with the song Drogovsky, Okman with the song River, Karolina Stanisławski and Chika Tora with the song Move, Kuba Smalovsky with the song Love Sick, Unmute with Goniesnie Niez Desibile, and then finally, Carolina Leeser with the song Sista Woda is the name of her song. So, looking over the list of these six acts, I know of these 10 acts, I know four of the songs have been released at this point. So do you want to go ahead and just say, like, what act stands out to you so far of who we've known and, like, who of these
Yeah.
artists stand out and who kind of are we looking forward to seeing what happens with?
Okay, I'm going to be honest, guys. I haven't heard all of the four songs that are released yet, but there are some that stand out immediately, just kind of getting to know them. So, Unmute song. This is a very interesting case because this is the first song that I've ever seen in a Eurovision season, period, that only is using sign language as the quote-unquote vocals. There is no vocal performed in this song. It's going to be an instrumental accompanied by sign language, which I guess like that's so ridiculously cool. I've never seen a song performed entirely in sign language in a Eurovision venue or like for a Eurovision type performance. I think that's going to be super, super interesting.
Now,
But
I was gonna say
oh
just
yeah,
to kind of piggyback off of that with Unmute, it makes me think of there's a Ukrainian movie called The Tribe. if you've never seen it and you have a Pluto TV, you can watch it for free streaming. Even if you don't have a Pluto TV account, you can watch it streaming. It is in all Ukrainian sign language. There is no subtitles, and the only audio is the audio you hear from like the people walking, or like when they hit each other, you hear that audio, and it kind of brings it to that to me immensely, because I'm always ready to talk about The Tribe. It's an excellent film if you've not seen it. It's expanding the accessibility of music is what this is doing. And like we all, every year we see someone go viral for them signing like a rap song or something at a concert. And it's like, well, this is a way of having artists who are hearing impaired or can't hear at all, having them have a chance to shine and show like what they can do lyrically. Because, with language, you can make poetry out of anything. And when you're signing, there is a poetry to the words that you're signing and how, like, the way everything is signed. So I really enjoy that fact that they're bringing that accessibility, especially, like, I've never seen Polish Sign Language before. I'm from the US. I'm used to American Sign Language here. Or there's also, like, there's two kinds of American Sign Language here. But yeah, I'm used to, like, American Sign Language. And I do love the fact that we're getting more accessibility, because we've had, like, I want Eurovision to be for everybody, and I want everyone to see themselves in Eurovision. So, like, I know Poland has sent an artist who was in a wheelchair before to Eurovision, and it was great seeing somebody perform in a wheelchair. And of course, Russia did as well. Finland has sent a group that was everyone had some kind of mental disability. Like there was I like P&K. Okay, I'm gonna defend Poland 2015 because that's an excellent punk song. And now we have like some representation in the national final for, the deaf community. And I think that's fantastic. And I love the fact that we're getting that. And especially since I've known people who are deaf or hearing impaired who they can feel the vibrations of the music. And that's what they like about music. So they like songs that are really bassy. This one is actually pretty bassy. So I can see how if it's loud enough, someone can feel the music. And I think that adds an extra layer of accessibility with this entry. And so what we're gonna like, that's kind of just my thoughts I wanted to bring up about Unmute there. Were there any other that were standing out to you, Jordan?
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, once again, the inclusion of Unmute, like that's going to be something that's going to be one of like I think the treasured moments of this national final season, only because like we see that dimension of just like deaf people being in the Eurovision culture in this way, being able to display their language, and I think that's just gorgeous. But to answer your question, yeah, like another act that stood out to me was Daria. So the note that I made here was that she has a polished pop song and an overall good performance of Paranoia, which is the name of her song. And that performance is available on YouTube. And with all things considered, there already seems to be at least one stage design concept and like kind of like a choreography number associated with this song. I saw that stage performance and it looked so polished. It looked so ready. It almost makes me question if Poland has already kind of an intention of putting her on the Eurovision stage, only because of just how well everything was put together from that first performance of this national final song. It looked quite expensive, I gotta say.
It looked great. It's one of those things where when I watched it, I was like, okay, I see what you're doing, girl. I see what you're doing there. Speaking of other songs that have been released, Anna Bryson, that song that she is performing has been released as well. And there is the release for Lovesick, which is Kuba Smilovsky, his song as well. So with those two, you can check out those performances already. And just kind of going through looking at artists who've competed at other national finals or have competed at Eurovision before. We have a Eurovision alumna, Lydia Coppagna, with Why Does It Hurt? She represented Poland in 2009 with the song I Don't Want to Leave. So you can kind of get an idea. Like, she hasn't really released any music since then. But you can go ahead and you can check out that performance. And we always like to see a comeback. And as far as national finals go, Emilia, or Mila, she did compete at EMA in 2018, so she did try to represent Slovenia before. Yeah, so that's just kind of like what we're thinking about concerning the Polish artist. We'll go into more detail as more songs are released. Probably like right
Yep.
before the national final, we'll talk about stuff really in depth with that. So we'll come back to you, Poland. It looks like on the 18th, so about a month from now.
Hmm.
Now let's go ahead and talk about UMK. We mentioned the artists who are going to be competing in UMK. What was that? I'm sorry. We mentioned the artists who'd be competing in UMK last week. So
Hmm.
now that we got all the songs, let's talk about the songs. I'm going
Let's
to go
talk.
ahead, read through the songs, and we'll give our thoughts about each one of them. So, first song on the list is Scion Kicks with the song Hurricane, Bess with Rum Pum Pum, the Rasmus with Jezebel, Young Hearted with Sun Numero, Oliveira with the song Thank God I'm an Atheist, Tommy Lenton with the song Elama Kanta Mua, Isaac Sene with the song Kumamoto Jaba. And you want to go ahead and kick this off, Jordan, with how you're feeling about. Let's talk about Cyan Kicks first. We'll just go down the list in order.
Okay. So, all right, this is kind of a complicated one. I get it. I understand why Cyan Kicks' song is so popular. I get why it has like so much appeal, so much pull, and I get why a lot of people want this to be the representative song for Finland. I think it's my least favorite of this election, and that's super contentious. I know that I'm going to be disagreeing with a lot of people by saying that, but I just don't know what it is. There's just something that I think is like kind of missing about this song. I mean, it's not bad. I think it's
Yeah.
like pretty listenable. Like,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's very professionally done. Like, of course, like this is a very reasonable song to represent Finland, but. I don't know. It's just not for me. I don't think I personally get it, but I do respect it. And I also think like it is still listenable. It is like still objectively good. Like I can still hear that. But yeah, there's something about it that isn't exactly my cup of tea. How do you feel about it?
So I want to start this off by saying I love all of these songs. Like, genuinely speaking, I think any of these songs would come top 10 at Eurovision. I'm not
You guys, this
joking.
is the best national selection we've seen in so long.
I thought the Czech Republic was strong. And then Finland came and did this to me. And I'm just like, girl, yes. Thank you, Finland. Like, I don't know what needed to happen, but I'm thankful.
Period.
Yeah, like no, seriously, I like Scion Kicks. It's electronic pop rock, very catchy, very anthemic, very enjoyable. When it's on, I'm singing along. Like when that chorus hits, like I'm like a hurricane. I'm not gonna sing. I don't want to like blow out anyone's eardrums with my high pitched squeals. But I think it's great. Like I think it's not my personal favorite either in here, but it's still solid. I get the appeal of it, and again, I think it could come top 10 at Eurovision proper.
Hmm.
Yeah, like I really I see what you mean with it, where it's like maybe you had higher expectations, or maybe it's like if this was the first song that got released, and when it was first,
That might also
and
been
I
an
think,
influence. Yeah.
and so it's the first song that got released, and I liked it the first time I heard it, and then I was like, okay, let's see what happens next, and for me, it just got better and better and better throughout the week. So yeah, I think this is still a solid song, and Cyan Kicks can be proud of this song, and Finland can be proud of having them in the final. They're in their national final. Let's talk about Bess next with the song Rom Pom Pom. For me personally, I like this. It's like a breakup song about getting your independence, but like there's no bitterness to it at the same time. It's like
Hmm.
all empowerment, no anger. And like I think
Yeah.
that's fantastic because I want that. Like I sometimes you just want to go be your own person, do your own thing, and this is like an anthem for that. Plus, saying rum pom pom is fun as hell. Like that's so much fun to say. So, what are you thinking about when it comes to this one?
So, this is actually in contention for being one of my favorites. Like, it's in at the very minimum in my top two, I think, for this national selection. And it's because this song, it started off so ridiculously good, and
Mm-hmm.
it was also a grower. So, I love the fact that her voice is so like deep and so gritty and so like rustic, and the music video was so like epic and dramatic, and the melody is so
Yeah.
strong, and it's like a bop. This is like a Finnish language bop, you guys. How often do we get that like ever in the national final season? Like, and it's it feels pop, but it also doesn't feel like pop is its kind of like main thing. It feels like its main thing is like the message it's carrying, and like as you were saying, the breakup song like aspect of it, the triumph of the breakup song. Like it's just so good, you guys. And whether or not this wins in Finland, I'm so glad we have this song at
Yeah.
the very minimum because like come on, like this is a song that you could play at any time, and it's just so beautiful. I love it. I just love it.
Yeah, that one's great. It's such a solid choice.
Mm-hmm.
Again, Finland. Any of these songs I think could in top 10. Let's go
Mm-hmm.
ahead and let's talk about the Rasmus with the song Jezebel. I know that's one of the artists I mentioned last week. That's I know this band. I've heard of their stuff. I've heard, their music in the past, and I'm gonna not lie. I'm a little disappointed. There's something about this that it's not quite clicking with me. I think I was expecting maybe something a little more harder, and this is quite new metal-y. And I'm not,
Mm-hmm.
I like new metal when the occasion occurs for me, but like this one is a little too, it doesn't, it doesn't quite click for me personally. Plus, I hate the word Jezebel. I hate that name. It just has such a negative connotation to me that like when I hear it, I go, So they're Finnish. They don't necessarily know that, but that's kind of what makes. I think that's the thing that is the most off-putting for me personally with that one.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely see what you mean because before even like last week's live stream, I was listening to the Rasmus and just kind of like their past tracks. I don't think Jezebel's as strong as the previous things they've written. I do agree with you there, but I also think I really like this one. I mean, like, I get it. Like, this isn't exactly going up like on the shelf for the Rasmus, but generally, I think it's a really listenable song. It kind of strikes me as like an anime intro kind of a feeling. There's just a
Yep.
lot of like the melody is strong to me. I like it. I don't know what I can say. I mean, like if this ends up representing Finland, and like let's be honest, like this it has a pretty good odds of like getting in that percentile. I wouldn't necessarily be disappointed with it because I just enjoy it that much.
Yeah, like I said,
It is new metal,
all of these are good. It's just like for me personally, I hear Jezebel and I go, ugh. I mean, I also do enjoy a little bit of like some femdom that's happening lyrically. We always appreciate femdom in this household.
though.
Um, Next is the song the artist is Young Carter with the song Sun Numero.
Hmm.
I my only note for this is that it makes me want to put headphones in and pretend that I'm like the star of a movie. Like that's what
Yeah, I get
I know
it.
that like that sounds weird, but that's such a huge compliment for me. It's like it makes me want to put my headphones in and pretend that like, oh yeah, this is a movie about my life as a high schooler. I mean, yeah, how
It's
do you
very
feel?
protagonist.
Like, yeah, do you have anything else you want to add about that one?
This one I also think is kind of like one of these like Finnish language gems. We have so many Finnish language gems, but I mean, focusing specifically on a young-hearted song, um, rarely do I feel like we have a ballad that's kind of like of this caliber.
Hmm.
Rarely do I feel like we have like this pop acoustic indie band sending a song that's like in their native language that's like telling a story like it almost feels like it should be a San Remo type entry just by the nature in which like it was a produced for this national final. It's so stripped back, it's so intimate, it's so lyrical. I think it's I mean, being someone who adores ballads and can listen to a ballad at literally any point during the day, this is something that I find to be an absolute delight. And I'm so glad it's in the national final because the way it contrasts with everybody too.
Yeah.
It stands out just in the sense of the way it contrasts. And yeah, like Sonumera, it's beautiful. It's like that's the pinnacle of what I'm gonna say about that.
Now, speaking of contrasting, I think another
Mhm.
artist that kind of contrasts with what's happening is Olivera with the song "Thank God I'm an Atheist." Um, I like her voice a lot. I think that's the thing about the song I like the most is Olivera's voice. It's like a raspy baby,
Mhm.
but not raspy at the same time. I don't know how to explain it. I have a baby voice too. Maybe I'm just partial to baby voices. But like
Mhm.
I really like her voice and I like the stripped back quality of this like interpersonal thinking about things ballad. If
Mhm.
I had to compare it to another Eurovision song, I'd actually say kind of Monster Like Me vibes from Norway. And you just look shocked as anything from 2015. Sorry, it looked like you're just like, would they say something crazy? I enjoy this. I like it better than I thought I would. But yeah, like, that's on my list here.
Sweet, sweet. And also, like, apologize, guys, minor segue. If you hear kind of like loud thudding or bumping, it's because the walls in my apartment are paper thin and someone downstairs is moving. So you hear the mover's truck is the reason why. But thank God I'm an atheist. This song, I love just the fact that this song is included because once again, like her voice is, it is kind of like a raspy baby, but it's also the lyrical story behind it. If you guys know me, I'm all about like the story in lyrics, and it's like quite a heated discussion she's having in her head about like I'm an atheist, but part of that is the reason I don't want to like be paying for my sins. And being someone myself who's kind of like back and forth with religion, this is a dialogue that very much does happen. And if you kind of just checked out the discussion along this song, this was quite contentious, I would say.
Hmm.
Oliveira's like the lyrics and even the title of her song was a big point of discussion for the Eurofandom, or at least that I've witnessed on Twitter.
Yeah.
Like this is a very poignant conversation that people are having now because of her inclusion of this song. And I think it's just quite valuable that we're able to have that discussion just by like her having this song. But it's not just that. I really like the melody too, and the production is so
Yeah.
professionally done. This is another like super unique, like we're not gonna get a song like this again in another national final for a really long time. It's just so like it's a gem, I would say, in its own right.
Oh yeah, no, I agree 100% with that. It's a fantastic song, and Oliveira should really be proud. And like, it's
Mhm.
great to see like having discussions going on Twitter that aren't just like one word discussions. So if you get people going, did you freeze? No, you did not freeze. I'm sorry. I thought Jordan had frozen there for a second. All right.
Oh no,
Let's
it's okay. You froze a little bit too, but it looks like you're back.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna talk about Tommy Lantanen with the song El Elama
Antam-
Cantamua. I really like this. I'm shocked how much I enjoyed this one because it's like usually you get your like older rocker and you're like, okay, you know what, Grandpa, you're gonna go up on the stage, you're gonna do your thing. You're here because are. I like the fact that at national finals, we get to have the older artists get the respects paid to them, and
Mhm.
this is how you do it. Like, I'm sorry, this is how you bring a song as an older artist that's so contemporary and catchy. I love this.
So
The
contemporary. It's
like
so fresh.
the melody is so good. It's still a rock song. There's your throwback,
Uh-huh.
like talking about Harley Davidsons. I used to live next to a Harley Davidson factory, so I'm kind of like to Harley Davidson because it makes the whole
Wow.
town smell like rubber. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, no, I like listening to this. It was great. Like I just, hear it and I'm down with it because it's like no one else has really brought that with
Hmm.
older artists, and it's like this is how you do it, guys. Like I wish them all the best.
Hmm. Yeah, it's like it almost feels like a San Remo type entry. Like once again, it's because like this is a veteran of like this country's music industry, and they're coming back with once again their genius. And
Hmm.
I was already drawn in by like Tommy's music from when I was listening to his back catalog. I was already kind of like drawn in by like, oh yeah, these hooks are strong. I really like the instrumentals. This is no exception. I think it's good. Like I think it's a really good song. And this would kind of be I guess in most national selections, like the quote unquote like older man song would be like a sleeper. This isn't necessarily the case. Like I think he's up there. He's up there with the other guys too, and it's so much fun to see because it's just like he took all of us by surprise.
Yeah, like I have a group of people who are Eurovision fans I talk to. We're called the Boomer Squad, kind of on Discord, and they love this. Like honestly, I know three different people that this is their winner from UMK this year, and I'm just like, okay, yeah. How often do you see that happen? And I think that deserves some praise.
This is
Uh,
this is the first time I've
so
seen it happen.
we're gonna talk about the last artist and song, Isaac Sinet.
Hmm.
Jordan sent me a text message yesterday. It was just like Isaac's song is released, and I was like, "What?" I went and I listened to it. Like I actually was like coming back from my break at work because I had to listen to it. Um, oh, this is so good. This is so good, and this is so. It's what we needed. I know we said Prince last. I said Prince last week, and we
Uh-huh.
got Prince. This is so sexy. That's the word I'm going to use. This is sexy. Like, I don't know how else to phrase it. Like, that's what I'm going to use.
Finland, where the hell were you keeping this? Is my question. I mean, like, why have I not heard about Isaac Sine up until this moment? This song is, it's not only so sexy, but it's so inspired, it's so layered, it's performed so well. This, I mean, Finland was intentionally holding him out to be the last entry
Yeah, they knew
revealed.
what they were
And
doing.
they knew very well what they were doing. And yeah, Kumayaba, I didn't think that I would be so drawn in,
Hmm.
but I was. I mean, like, I think part of it's the reason why, like, I've been as of the last like week or so, I've been listening to the Weeknd's new album, Dawn FM, which is like really good, by the way. You should check that out.
We
But
can
it's
eat your heart
also
out. I'm sorry. Like, this is. You wish you could.
oh no, I mean, like
Yeah.
like the electric guitar, like
Hmm.
when he brought that out, I was like, wait, hold on, this is okay. And I'm gonna make a very big claim right now, but very few songs have I heard this year that I got the essence out of like, oh yeah, Eurovision winner. When
Yeah.
I heard that electric guitar, I had that like flash moment of like, wait, this could take home the entire thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know you guys. Every time I listen to it, it just gets better and better. And it's at the very minimum in my top two this
Yeah.
year. It's just so good and it's so sexy and it's just it's like everything I wanted from Finland that I didn't know I needed.
It's also unambiguously gay in the lyrical
Yes.
content, and I love that. It's like, oh gosh, it's like I'm always for that. Especially like I don't know how it is in Finland, but I know like in the United States, there's often like this kind of amongst the black community of not explicitly talking about homosexuality, especially male
Mm.
homosexuality. I don't know if like Isaac is gay, pan, bi. I don't know what his sexuality is, but having a song that is unambiguously about hooking up with another man, you wouldn't really see that from many artists. And it's like I'm liking like now in the States we do have a couple of artists like Santana who are kind of bringing that unambiguously yes I'm attracted to men thing to music. And
Mhm.
I'm liking the fact that we're going to be seeing that in the Finnish national selection. Also, I have read that he's half Senegalese, which makes that even more daring to me. Mostly because, fun fact about me, my mom's second husband is Senegalese, so I grew up around a lot of Senegalese people, and yeah, like it's just like one of those things where I don't know if it's yeah, it's just like it that quality to it. It's bringing like an extra layer that makes me want to root for him even more. But this is probably my biggest winner because it's like calculated to be something I love. There's an electric
Mhm.
guitar solo. It's an 80s throwback. It's like this sexy kind of mix of like masculine and feminine energy, and it's like it's great. I love this entry. It's like made to be for me because I'm like being egotistical here, but they knew what they were doing.
Mhm.
Everyone knew what they were doing when it came to writing this, producing it, and being like, this is gonna be the last song we release.
No, that was so ridiculously intentional. And like Finland, if you're hearing this, YLE, if you're hearing this broadcast at any point, just know that yes, we recognize that you have sent bands before, you have sent female soloists before, you have sent ballads before, you have sent old men before, you have not sent something like this before.
Mm-mm.
And that is just keep that in mind, Finland,
It's
because this is we're not going to get a song like this. We're not going to get a performer like this in a while. That's just the essence of what Isaac's song, his 3 minutes are. So if you do send him, that could be something so valuable for
mhm.
your lineup. I mean, like by all means, everyone can attest to that, but when it comes to just sheer uniqueness, Isaac has the edge.
Yeah, yeah, like it just fantastic.
Mhm.
And from our praising of UMK, let's go on to Ireland's national selection. All of the songs were released this week. There will be six competing to represent the country that has the most wins at Eurovision ever. So
Mhm.
let's go ahead. I'm just going to read through the list of artists and their songs first, and then we'll go through and we'll discuss each song and each song here. So number one is Rachel Good with I'm Loving Me. Then Brendan Murray's back with Real Love. Scullion with That's Rich. Patrick O'Sullivan with One Night, One Kiss. Oh, is it One Night Kiss Promise? Yeah, One Night Kiss
I read,
Promise.
yeah, One Night Kiss
But in
Promise.
like
Yeah.
because I have the chorus in my head, and in the chorus he says one between each of those.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sorry. And then Janet Gorgon with the song Ashes of Wednesday, and Miles Graham with Yeah, We're Gonna Get Out of It. So again, let's do the same kind of order we did before, from the first working our way down to the last of like the way they were ordered on the website. So Rachel Good. What do you think about Rachel?
Okay. I've seen a lot of hate. I've seen a lot of like, especially Eurovision writers who are like from other publications talk about like, wow, they really dislike this song. They talk about how like it's just like not for them. It uses like X, Y, or Z to try to be like the perfect Eurovision song. I'll be honest, you guys, I love it. I love this song. It's so much fun. It's so good. It's just like I don't exactly know how to explain why I'm just so drawn to it. Maybe because it's like kind of faux ABBA sound, a faux Cher sound,
Oh my
but
god,
there's
so
just
sure.
yeah, there's just some quality about it that I'm just like, okay, yeah, the lyrics are simple and it's not like trying to be the most experimental thing ever, but I'm so drawn in. It's kind of like the soundtrack to like a Barbie movie, you know, where it's just like this is nothing but fun. And I like that. What do you think?
I'm sorry, you said Barbie movie, and I just went, oh man, I love Barbie, my life in the dream house. That show's great. Watch it on
Yeah.
YouTube for free.
Now just picture it.
Exactly. I see it. It's the 80s Barbie. I want crimped hair. I want big plastic earrings. I want my
Blue
leggings.
eyeshadow.
Oh my gosh, I love blue eyeshadow. Don't get me started. Like I have like blue eyeshadow right there. I have an addiction to blue eyeshadow that's unhealthy. Now when it comes to this one, it's an 80s throwback. We love an 80s throwback. We know this about me. It's a song you want to kind of speed down the highway to. Love that. But
Emphasis
for
on
me,
speed.
yeah, it it's a bit of a pastiche though. Instead of being a
Yeah.
straight up 80, instead of being like an 80s like kind of influence throwback sound, it sounds like it's from the 80s, but then you just updated the production. It's the same thing that Denmark had this year. Where it just sounds like a straight up, it's like it just sounds like, has this been just sitting in the RTE vaults for like the last 40 years waiting to come out? It
Yeah, I
has
get that.
that
I get that.
quality, and
Yeah.
it's like, and I don't mean that as, it's just one of those things where that's what it sounds like. It just straight up, it sounds dated. And I don't mean dated in a negative way necessarily. I just mean like it doesn't sound like it was made
Intentionally
now.
contemporary.
Yeah, it's intentionally set up. It's like Stranger Things. It's intentionally
Mm, yeah.
created to be of that era because people have nostalgia for it. And
Mhm.
like I yeah, that's kind of how I feel about that. Now, because of that, I don't know if that's like kind of the music that Rachel would necessarily always make, because this is, to be perfectly honest, the first thing I've ever heard from her. But it doesn't sound modern. It sounds very much of the past. And my concern with that is, while I enjoyed Denmark last year, the rare time I liked Denmark was in 2021. I don't know if that's necessarily for everybody. So like when it comes to Ireland, I think with a lot of it, it's just trying to be like, what's the best fit so we can get you back on track, Ireland.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah,
was
this is
long.
definitely a step in a direction.
Yeah, it's going somewhere. Now I'm just trying to. I don't mean to rush things here, but we're gonna move on to Brendan Murray. He's back. He tried.
In
He died to
2017.
try. I'm sorry. Me trying
Yeah,
to make
that
a
one.
joke off the name of the song. Back in 2017, he sang "Dying to Try." Um, he's got a beautiful voice, but love ballads are not for me. I'm like the opposite of you. I'm not one of those people who can listen to a ballad all the time. And as a solo artist, Brendan just doesn't work for me personally. Like, he seems so sweet and he's got such a gorgeous
Mhm.
voice, but he needs to
Yeah.
be in an ensemble. As a soloist, it's just, it doesn't work for me personally.
Hmm.
We're gonna just leave it there, Jordan.
Well, I mean, okay. I agree. Like, seems like he has a great personality, gorgeous voice. I really don't like this song, you guys. I mean, Dying to Try took several months to grow on me in 2017. This song I don't think it can ever happen. I mean, like, I don't know. There's something about like the songwriting of it that just seems so lazy, both melodically and lyrically. I just feel like this is like the very back of the vault. Like this is a song that you wrote kind of like just to be a demo for something else. It feels like there should be some kind of moment that happens in the song, but we don't even get a build up to that. Like I find it boring, frankly. I don't like it
Yeah.
whatsoever. And it's really hard for me to kind of like be like a supporter, like a gunner for like, oh yeah, Brendan Murray for Eurovision, because I mean like he is like a seasoned artist, but when it comes down to it, like not only is this not competitive, it just doesn't interest me whatsoever, and I'm really disappointed with it, I gotta say.
Yeah, it's just come back. Like I know he used to be in a boy group. I don't want to go back to the boy group thing, but it's like, or come with like a duet or something. It's just one of those things where solo, I just I'm not into it solo. But again, he's got like such a beautiful instrument, and he's definitely talented. It's just I want him to kind of make something a little more different there.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and talk about Brooke Skillian with the song "That's Rich." Another 80s throwback. I read on her YouTube channel, she wrote that the song was inspired by Blondie meets The Gossip, and I totally get that. There's like
Hmm.
this, it's again 80s throwback. It's like when Blondie went more disco musically, and it also has like this Riot Girl quality to it that I'm really into. It's like 80s meets 90s in a good way.
Yeah. And honestly, like this song, it's meant to be kind of like one of those like upfront, like fun ones where like it's kind of like what we see with Bess in UMK.
Yeah.
It's kind of like it's like the triumphant like female power anthem song. But this one, like like, and I'm saying this as kind of like a positive comment. It reminds me of when I was back in college when I was going to school out in Ireland, and it's just like all like the Irish girls that like we were talking to, like me and my group of friends. Like this is kind of like the way they talk, and like hanging out with them. It's like it is this much fun.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of like harkens me back to like my days out in like Cork, Killarney, and it's just having fun out there like in the streets like with these Irish girls, and it's I don't know how else to describe it.
No,
That's like the
I
first
love.
memory that comes to me where it's just like that's rich. I'm back in Ireland, baby.
Yeah, I know. I love my Irish girls. Oh, my Irish girl I
Hmm.
talk to all the time. Like she's a bucket of fun.
The
Like
Irish are just amazing, you guys. I stand the Irish.
yeah, like I like this one. I think it's good. It's solid. It's a good bit of fun and it's enjoyable. Like just said like three things. Okay. So
Hmm.
Patrick O'Sullivan is the next one we're gonna talk about with One Night Kiss Promise. I like that you can hear his accent.
Yeah, you can. You definitely can hear his
And
accent.
like my thing is when it comes to people singing, you usually lose your accent because
Hmm.
I I did a whole research paper about this back in like high school. But yeah, you usually use your accent when you sing, and you can hear his accent, and I love that. It adds a bit of charm to the song. Um, but it's very like again, I keep coming back to like 80s esque, like late 80s, early 90s on this one. Um, and like the chorus is really catchy, and I am into it. But at the same time, we've got three songs here that all kind of are like 80s esque throwbacks. And like I get
Yeah.
it. That's what's popular in English language music right now.
Hmm.
But yeah, like it just it's one of those things where like of those three, he's kind of the one I like the least. But like there's something really charming about this entry still that I can't put my finger quite on.
Yeah, like I agree with you. There is like a charming dimension of it, and I like that you're able to hear his accent in the performance of it. It kind of strikes me as like a wedding venue singer type song. I'm not going to elaborate, but um,
Yeah.
One Night is Promise, the song itself. Yeah, this is one of those songs that is kind of like subbing in that 80s and like that 80s inspiration for like kind of like artistic identity, and I don't love the fact that that's happening so much this year. I mean, I love the 80s. I love the 80s type sound, but some artists, especially like in this case, I do see that they're using it as kind of like a crutch
Yeah.
to kind of be like that more marketable song. I don't like this song and I don't remember it. I listened to it maybe twice at this point. I have no idea how it goes. I'm pretty disappointed with it. I don't think Patrick should give up making
No.
music because like absolutely not. Like there is promise here. But this song in particular, I don't see it as like a Eurovision type song. I also don't think it's super interesting in a way. And I really regret that I have to say that so many times in this national selection, but to be honest, yeah, this is one of those songs that I just don't necessarily think it has quite an edge.
Here, let's just run through the other because we have a few minutes left and we've got a lot of stuff to get through still. Like
Oh my goodness.
we've got like 15 minutes to go here still, guys. So
Okay.
yeah, let's just go through these next two real quick. Janet Gorgon and Miles Graham. Quick with Janet, seeing the backing vocalist step to the center of the stage and be
Mhm.
the one to take the spotlight. It's an up-tempo piano ballad. I actually like it. The harmonies for me on the chorus are the best part of the song, though. Like when those harmonies hit, I'm like, yes, I'm rooting for you. Then, do you have
Mhm.
anything you want to say about Janet?
Generally, I'm not interested.
Okay. With Miles Graham, that's the last one. It's an indies pop inspirational song. This is not for me. This is not my genre. I just, it's very, where is the love? It's very like that late oddies kind of let's come together situation, and I'm not into that. Personally,
Black Eyed Peas, yeah.
now kind of like I don't think you haven't heard that one yet, have you?
Oh no, I actually haven't heard that one yet at all.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
yeah. So we're gonna so like as an overall thought about the Irish selection, Ireland, the issue that you guys are having with Eurovision is that you want it to be the 90s again. You want it to be back when you guys were consistently winning year after year, are coming really high. And that's what this national selection says to me. It says that let's send something that would have done really well back in our heyday.
Hmm.
And unfortunately, it's not the 90s anymore. I wish it was. I don't want to have a job. I would like to have nap time and watch Barney and have
Period.
Barney be the motivation to clean my house. Um,
Hmm.
no, like I don't know what to say other than I want you guys to get back on track, but and having a national selection is a good idea, but I feel like what you are doing is you want it to be the way it was before and you're not adjusting to the way things are now. That
Yeah.
is that is
An issue.
that is an issue, and I'm going to leave it at that because we like I said we got a lot to get through still.
Hmm.
Let's go ahead and talk about Melody Grand Prix.
Yeah.
Review of Heat 1. The winner of that was Frode Vassal with the song Black Flowers.
Hmm. Sure was.
Do you want to start off talking about that heat?
Yeah, I was surprised by this. I think my favorite walking out of it was Mira Craig's performance. We're still here, and like kind of like toward the end of the last duel, I thought what was going to win was going to be "Ecstasy" by
Yeah,
Alina Noelia.
same.
That didn't quite happen, and I feel like the reason why is because Frode gave us um
Complete
a vocal
staging.
moment, but at the same time, so did Alina. I don't know. I'm just generally kind of like still in the air about how that entire heat went. But we also saw LC Bay perform. That was super nice. Trollfest performed, and I thought they were going to qualify. That didn't happen. This entire thing took me by surprise. What
Yeah,
did you think?
this is absolutely shocking results. Yes, real quick, LC Bay did perform. Again, check out the interview. It is in the cards and in the description box as well. And with this one, it was like the song that won this heat is the song I found to be the least compelling. I thought Ecstasy was going to cakewalk it once we got to see what the
Yeah.
staging was going to be. I understand what fell with the other two, like with Dancing a Pink Flamingo and what was it We Still Here?
Mhm.
With those two, the staging on those was kind of messy, not like the most polished. I thought the staging that we got from Elsie was really polished and not Elsie, I'm sorry. The staging we got
Really?
from Elaine was really polished and she sounded fantastic.
Mhm.
With Froda, I think that the reason he won this heat is because of the staging. I really think that
Mm.
as as a song, it's not at all like it's not experimental. It's a safe song that's performed well. He's got a good voice, and the staging was the most complete staging. That was the most dynamic.
Mm.
So I think that's what
Okay.
happened. Now let's just talk about. Oh, did you have anything you wanted to add there?
Oh no no no. Yeah, I don't disagree.
Okay. Now let's go ahead and let's go to Heat 2. With
Mm-hmm.
Heat 2, I'm not going to make any predictions because I feel like we jinxed it last week.
Yep, we did. No
We jinxed
predictions
it.
this
No
time.
predictions at all. Let's just talk about the things.
Yeah.
So this first song is Farida with Dangerous. Then we have
Mm-hmm.
Stefan Jakobsson singing With Me Tonight. Lily
Mm-hmm.
Lowe with the song Bad Baby. Daniel Lucas is singing Klavlark Talk. And then the auto qualifier is Christian Ingebrigtsen with Wonder of the World. And again, check out the interview in the cards and in the description box
Yep.
that Jordan did with him. So, run down the list real quick. Let's talk about Farida with the song Dangerous. How do you feel about that one?
It's an epic ballad. I wouldn't say it's my favorite ballad of kind of like the Norwegian selection, but I do respect it and I do think it can be performed really well. I'm just counting on the live performance to kind of just like bring like the last piece of the puzzle to my opinion.
So, you know how with movies, they make a slowed down pop cover of like a good song?
Yeah.
Um, So I was watching Black Widow about a week ago because I don't
Uh-huh.
know, I have Disney Plus, and there's like the introduction of the movie is a slowed down female cover of Smells Like Teen Spirit. This
Mm,
girl bossy anthem slow down situation, I think that should have played over the opening of Black Widow instead of Smells Like Teen Spirit. It's not a genre for me. I hear it and all I think of is like the Twilight trailer. Um, yeah, sorry. Like, I don't know how to phrase it. It seems like it's a song for a trailer for a movie that a studio is dumping in February. All right,
all
next song.
right.
Sorry.
Interesting opinion. Stefan
Then we're moving
Jacobson.
on to Stefan Jacobson. What do you want to think of? What do you think about his song?
It's pleasant, sure. I mean, like we get those entries in Norway where it's just like a pop country song sung by a guy with a guitar wearing like a brown leather like thing going on. Yeah, it's there. It's pleasant, sure. I wouldn't necessarily call it competitive, but I don't always skip it. It's all right.
It sounds to me like remember Estonia, Stefan's song in Estonia. It's that, but for Norway.
Yeah.
They're the same song. Like I don't know, they don't sound the same. I'm not saying like it's plagiarism or anything. It's the same kind of song. It's a
But
spaghetti
you
western
can only be so yeehaw outside of yeehaw land.
as a half yeehaw American. Uh,
Yeah.
no, like it's just it. I like his voice, but I mean it's a country pop song. I'll like it when it's on, and then I won't skip it. But it just doesn't do anything for me too
Yeah.
much. But I also really like it at the same time. I know I'm odd. Lily Lowe, there will there are some weird things happening in this song lyrically for me that take me out of it at some point. But I
Mm.
do like an 80s ruckus kind of like anthemy thing. But usually when you're
Yeah.
hearing this song, it's like from a male point of view. Like it's a female version of that. And I
Mm.
like that. That quality that it has. But that's yeah. How do you feel about that
Yeah.
one?
Hmm. It's got a hook. It's got a nice melody. It kind of has like a reminiscent of like a Bon Jovi type sound.
Yeah.
It's uh, it's like pleasant. Yeah. I mean, do I see it qualifying? Sure. Generally, I mean, it could be a lot of fun. I'm not gonna like dock it because of kind of like its lyrical shakiness, as you were saying,
Yeah.
because I think that like with the Norwegian stage, it could do generally pretty well.
Honestly, with the results we got last week, anything could win.
Anything.
Yeah, then we have Daniel Lucas. It's Norwegian language throwback to the 80s pop sound. Um, it's unpredictable. You give me something that sounds like it has 80s elements. I vibe with it. But halfway through, I lose interest on this one. It's like it to me. It's too repetitive. So halfway through, I'm just done.
Mm. Once again, I've been listening to the weekend's Dawn FM, so like I'm kind of on like a trajectory right now. Kiveta Talk, I really enjoy. Like I think it's going to be one of my favorite songs of like this year, and I can't even like quite point out why that is. It reminds me kind of a like Scandinavian pop circa 2014,
Yeah.
2015. That might be why I like it so much, but I really do enjoy it, and I hope it does do well because I don't know, it's just for me for some reason, even though it isn't exactly formulaically for me.
Yeah. And then let's go ahead and talk about Christian. Um,
Hmm.
uh, Do you want to start us off with Christian?
Yeah, so I understand that this isn't exactly a song that's for everybody, but for me, I do have like kind of like an air of nostalgia with it. This seems like the kind of song that would play like if my grandma were cooking and she's playing like her old like romantic ballads and stuff like that. It takes me back to like that heyday of kind of like my childhood, and my cat is about to ruin the entire setup. Hey, Orion, say hi. But yeah, it's very romantic. It's orchestral. The lyrics are like very kind of like adoration-y. I understand that it's not for everybody though. How about you?
It's not for me.
Mm.
I don't really like ballads personally. Um, I don't like cliche love songs personally.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo.
I like that cliche love song. But it to me, this is the Wine Mom song. Wine moms
Mm.
need a song. We want to give all the wine moms something in every country. So Norway, this is your wine mom tune.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm like trying to rush things here, but all right,
All
let's
good.
just touch on the mess that was Lithuania. Like, those results. The results last weekend were just like,
I've never seen such a big disconnect between like the fandom and actual results, like starkest difference.
in both of the national finals we got last weekend.
Mm.
It was mind blowing to me.
It's a
But
train.
yeah, the qualifiers were Eva Zasmuskaita,
Mhm.
Juste Koyelete, Tiras Emberes, Queen of Roses, Moose X, and then Amalia Katalskaite.
Mhm.
Um, I just Eva, nice ballad, enjoyed that. Um, for me though, of those qualifiers, it's gotta be Queens of Roses because I have no idea what talk like a washing machine means, but it's in my lexicon now. That was fantastic. That was giving me like Lithuanian in Vogue. I loved every second of that. It was so good. Do you have anything you want to say or add?
That one definitely took me by surprise. Like I enjoyed it toward the very end. I didn't really like Eva's song. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I like her music outside of Eurovision, and I really liked When We're Old. I did not like the song at all, and that kind of disappointed me. Cosmic Bride was also one that surprised me because that was a Twitter fan favorite going into it. Got just as many points as she did last time. I don't think it was deserved, but it
I
happened, and
What
I don't know.
happened there? Because I
Like,
was convinced that was gonna be like up there, and then we get the result, and you're like, oh, someone must
right?
be mad at
It was
Cosmic Bride. Someone's
a good
angry at
performance. It
someone's
was so
angry at
good.
them. Someone in the LRT situ. I don't know what's happening. I know that I enjoyed that. That was great. The
Great, and I
staging was
thought it was.
excellent. It was really entertaining. And just like another artist I kind of wanted to bring up real quick another song I really liked was Clockwork Creep. I
Mm.
loved what they were giving us. It was like Nirvana meets the Red Hot Chili Peppers in the 90s. And like, again, I love a
Mm.
throwback, but I thought that was something that was really interesting. And I mean, I wasn't shocked that they didn't
Uh,
qualify like I was with the Devil of like, what was happening with that? That was like, yeah. Anyways, just going over who's going to be performing this week. And these are our last artists we're getting from Lithuania. It is going to be Valia Machakanaita with Samatas Ir Venias, Monica Liu with Sentimental, Basasis Pegasus with Ponai, Gabrazi with Into Your Arms, Gabriela with, oh my gosh, Ashokaishi
yep. Right.
Tave, Vasha with Napaladi, Ruta Loop with Call Me From the Cold, Gantara Zoroskaita with Fantasy Eyes, Manilu Faza with Give Me a Sign, Shivele Gedevalte with Lioness, Lolita Zero with Not Your Mother, and Emilia Voliokavachuta with Overload. Is there anyone there that you're kind of looking forward to seeing?
Monica Liu's song "Sentimental." I actually listened to it. I really like that one, and I know Gabrasi was a fan favorite last year, and I see a lot of momentum for his song this year as
Yeah.
well. So I'm interested to kind of just check out what's going on with him.
For me, it's gotta be Gabrase and Rita Loop. I thought they've
Mm.
both been
Yeah, Rudaloop too.
fantastic.
Yeah.
They've both been
Uh-huh.
great the last couple of times we've gone to, in the contest.
Mhm.
And I look forward to seeing what they're gonna be bringing. I haven't listened to anything yet. with Lithuania because, again, I treat Lithuania as demos until we get to the actual semifinals. And that's the best way to approach it as far as I'm concerned. So let's go ahead and let's talk about... Oh my gosh, my things are stuck together. Let's talk about our last topic, which is going to be Benidorm Fest. Woo!
You guys, I've been waiting to talk about this for so long, and we're going to talk about it a lot more in like later streams too, when we aren't on like such a big time crunch.
The reason,
you guys,
we're going to just touch on the two semifinals, because the semifinals are partway through the week next week. That's why I kind of want to talk about Benidorm. We'll be over time by we're going to go over by about 15 minutes, but whatever. We were 5 minutes late. So yeah, Benidorm. That's kind of what I wanted to talk about the two semifinals today. And then next week, once we get the results of the semifinals, we'll talk about what's happening in the final itself. So just going to give a quick rundown of the songs in the first semi. Luna Key with Vladimir. Oh my gosh, the sun is so gringo. Luna Key with Vladimir. Vara Brava with Rafaela. I'm sorry. Azúcar Moreno with Posadero. Blanca Paloma with Secreto de Agua. Unique with Mejores, and Tanchugueras with Terra, and then Chanel with Slow Mo. So, just looking at that first semi, let's again kind of go down the list in order. Luna Key. What do you think about Luna Key?
Luna Key, this is my favorite song of Benidorm, you guys, and it's going to be the first performed. I don't know, it's just like... It's like, maybe it's the production, maybe it's the lyrics, maybe it's the vocal technique. This song is so for me. I don't know, like, this is another one of those cases where it's just like, I don't know why it's for me, but it just very much is. I enjoy it. I think it's going to be a great opener, and I really hope she qualifies. What do you think?
My notes are just kind of like trashy pop meets alt rock, and I love it. Like, this is like Kesha meets Riot Girl. And it's fantastic. Like, it's so good. It's so fun. I enjoy it. The heaviness of the instrumental, the vocal effect, great. Like, there's something really... And honestly, going back and listening to others' music by Luna Key, I'm so happy I've been introduced to her because of Benidorm Fest.
Yeah, she's such like an expert composer.
Yeah. Next one is Vari Bravo. What do you want to say about Vari?
This song is so comfortable. It's like cozy almost. I want to say like it almost gives like hair salon kind of feeling where you're just like, oh, I'm gonna get pretty.
I'm under the dryer. I'm under the dryer. Oh, you're right. I'm under the dryer while my toes are being done. That's what's happening. And this is great. My note is like 80s synthy music updated to now. The hook is excellent. I'm at the hair salon with my grandmother. Like, that's what's going on here. We're at the beauty salon with my grandma. Like, I don't know what else to say about that one, but it makes me... It's comfy. It's like it takes you back to being a kid. Oh, it takes me back to being a kid,
me too in the same way, yeah.
And then the next one we have is Azúcar with Moreno. Any thoughts about them?
Yeah, so this is another one of my favorites in Benidorm. I'm so happy to see them back after so long having participated in Eurovision already. This song, it's like their old style, but it's also contemporary. It's traditional. It's also pop. It's so good, you guys. This is one of my favorite bops of the year. Yeah. Amazing.
I don't know what it is about when these two women sing, but it goes right to my heart. I'm like, yes. Like, it's like this really shouty kind of like stomp your foot, let's go, but really melodic at the same time. And I love them. Like I don't know what else to say besides like, it's so enjoyable to me. And it makes me feel strong. I don't know what else to say besides their vocal performance makes me feel like powerful.
Get up and dance.
Exactly. Then we have Blanca Paloma.
Secreto de Agua. This song is a very slow grower for me, but it is still a grower. I didn't really like it so much when I first heard it, but it is very artistically minded, and I have a lot of respect for it because this is one of like the art ballads of Benidorm, and I'm really excited for this one's performance, especially because I'm drawn in by a ballad's performance.
I don't like ballads, as I've said, but I like this one. There's something that the first time I heard this, I was like, oh, you know what I mean? Like immediately the first time I heard it, I was like, oh, there's something special happening here.
It is special, yeah.
If there's something about this like stripped back thing that's happening, it's dramatic. It's solid. It's interesting. And with the right staging, this could really shine because looking through these songs, this is the only ballad in the semi.
Yeah.
So
And just by that asset alone, it's quite competitive.
yeah, it's very competitive in that way. And I think it's going to really stand out. And I think that with the right staging, this could really be special.
Hmm.
All right. And we're going to talk about Unique next. My thoughts are just, it's radio friendly pop. It's a boy
Yeah,
band. It's not for me. But
it's.
hey, I'm happy you're here, guys.
I kind of get like an Avicii sound, kind of Calvin Harris, and occasionally like a Shawn Mendes, Ed Sheeran type sound. It's there. It's nice. Like it's got a melody.
I think
Sure. Yeah.
I think this is more. I don't want to be like, oh, it's for teenage girls because I mean, I like teenage
Mm.
girl music. I'm not gonna lie. I
Mm.
was a teenage girl once. Um, but this is like the kind of music when I was a teenager that I would go. That's what the preppies listen to. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not for me, but it's appreciated. I do like a boy band, so we'll see what it looks like live because boy bands are better
Yeah.
live.
Always.
And then we have Tanchugueras. Um, love it. Love it. I love it. I love it. Did you know I love it? I love this. It's so good. It's so good. It's it's like just it doesn't sound like anything else competing, and it doesn't sound like anything else Spain has sent to Eurovision, and it doesn't sound like anything else that I think we're gonna get from anyone else. Looking at the way national finals go, I like this. I know you don't. I'm gonna let you talk, but I love it. I'm muting
Okay,
my
I
mic
get
so you
it.
can just talk.
I get it. I get the love behind it. It has everything that I could like want. It's got those witchy vibes. It's got the ethnic. It has like good vocals, and it's like, and the production is so like epic and cinematic. This has every element that I love about a performance generally. The song itself is it's not exactly for me. I get it though. I do get why like it's one of the favorites to win in Spain. I get why this would be competitive if it did win in Spain, and it could give Spain a really good result. Sure. But like the song itself, I don't know. It's just a little Netflixy feeling to me. I don't know what it is, but I think I just need to see the Benidorm performance actually for me to be like, ah, yeah, there we go. Because it's just missing that like little piece of the puzzle that says like, yeah, for sure, I like it. I get it though. Like,
Yeah.
don't attack me, España. Like, I love you.
Yeah, no, I enjoy this one.
Mhm.
And last on the semi is Chanel. Um, my notes are understatedly sexy. Potential grind anthem? Question mark at the end. Like this is when you can just kind of, you know,
Mhm.
let me not make faces, but
Yeah.
yeah, no, this is slow dancing at like the high school dance, and you don't really know how to dance, and you just like grinding.
Yeah. I get like hints of like if you guys listen to Netta's music after Eurovision, like Beg, that's like her song Beg is what it sounds like to me, but it also kind of gives me like a Nati Peluso kind of sound as well. I don't know. I mean, I'm not personally the biggest fan of this song, but I respect it and I do like grind type music, especially like if it's the kind where like you can just kind of drop to and bop to. Yeah, like it could be a lot of fun, but the studio cut I don't think I'm in love with.
Yeah, it's one of those ones we'll have to see live.
Mhm.
Then I'm gonna just read through the semifinal two artists, and we'll talk about them kind of in order. I still haven't figured out how to say this person's name.
Shein.
Shein. Okay, we'll go with Shein, like the shop, like the store. Or Hin.
Up like the store.
Shin or Hin. I need to look that up really. Echo. Then we have Marta Sango with Sigues in Mi Mente. Um, Javiera Mena with Copa. Gonzalo Hermita with Queen Indinaria. Rigoberta Bandini with E Mama. Then with Kaya de la Llorera and Sarah Diop with Make You Say. Let's talk about Shein first.
The song is pretty good. It reminds me of Hero by Rayleigh in the Norwegian selection last year. I don't
Mm-hmm.
think it's like as good as that, but it is super catchy. It was the one that was kind of stuck in my head this morning, and I just generally do like the song. Let's see how you perform it though, Sheehan.
Yeah. Um, 80s throwback symphony.
Mm-hmm. 80s throwback Cynthia. That should be like on a shirt for the
Should
here.
That's my motto. 80s throwback synthy. I'll make that. I don't know. That just sounds like, yeah, that's like, in this little sub contest I made up in my mind, it's the one that stands out kind of the 80s throwbacky synthy songs in this selection for me. The chorus melody really gets in your head. All right. Then we have Marta Sango. Do you want to talk about her real quick?
Yeah, Sigue Sa Mi Mente is like another song that I think it's a very slow grower, but it's also like still a grower. I can listen to this song like after the Eurovision season and just kind of be like, oh yeah, like this is a vibe. It's quite a vibe. I wouldn't necessarily call it like Eurovision competitive in the terms that we know it, but generally like it's very pleasant to listen to. I'm not mad at it. It does have that synthy sound.
Yeah. Sorry, trying to look up how to pronounce Xian's name, but whenever I look it up, I'm getting like, how to pronounce extension. I'm like, okay.
I'm sure the Spaniards are going to correct us on it maybe at some point.
Hopefully. I would love to. I hate mispronouncing people's names. Yeah, Marta Sango. The synthy throwbacky. Yep, synthy throwbacky, late 80s, little 90s. It
Very
makes me want to
inspired.
go to the beach. I don't know why.
Yeah,
It just makes me. It makes me.
totally.
It's honestly. It has a sound to it that I associate with being in my mom's minivan on our way to the lake, and then like we'd always buy sweet corn. Like on the side of the road, sweet corn and like a watermelon. Because I'm sorry if you've never had watermelon from the side of the road, you've never had watermelon. And like it's true, it's 100% true. The best watermelon comes from the side of the road. And yeah, it takes me back to that personally. Like it makes me really want, like I really want sweet corn now, like but grilled sweet corn. It has to specifically be grilled. Um, it's just a memory association, but that's what the
No,
song
like
sounds like to me. Is we're going to the lake and it's summer break. So yeah, and then I love it. I love it on that one too. So that's a good thing. Havera Mena made me think of head. Okay, this one made me think of Heads Will Roll by the Yeah Yeahs. That beginning of
yeah,
it is right there, and it's kind of messy in the song, but I think with the right staging, this one would like totally win me over, and I'll be on its side 100%.
yeah, this one, the lyrics I noticed are quite simple. Like my Spanish isn't very good, but I understood all of this song. It's like the production is so like it kind of gives me, I want to say like 2009 K-pop sound. I don't know, there's something about it that's just like so unique, but
Like
so like predictable at the same time. I really do enjoy it though. Like this is a song that's just like a bop, you guys.
yeah,
Like effortlessly.
oh yeah, no, like I said, it made me think of Heads Will Roll. And if you make me think of the Yeahs, you're doing something right. Um, Next is Gonzalo Hermita. Um,
You know, the
I do not like the instrumentation on this. I think the instrumental is not good. But Gonzalo's voice, right, he got me right there. Like vocally, fantastic. Like that for me is the strong part of this. Like it's just like I'm not a fan of ballads typically, but for me his voice is very effective and it makes me go, okay, you know what? This is a good ballad. And again, he's the only ballad. I think he's the only ballad in the semi. So he's going to stand out.
Yeah, like being the only ballad in the semi, like that is going to be a very valuable asset to him. I do kind of like this song. I mean, yeah, like I'm not super in love with the instrumental, but it has like a telenovela type like vibe to it that I kind of like get with. It's like, oh wow, it's like with this song, it's like I almost want to say I'm watching a show like where the mom has amnesia and here's like this kid she forgot, and it's like I don't know, it's very telenovela, but that appeals very well to a Spanish speaking crowd, and I think that's what's gonna like help carry him to do like a relatively pretty good result because like ballads in Spain are
Yeah.
just treasured. And this is a pretty like it's not a bad ballad. I wouldn't say it's like the best Spanish ballad ever, but it's there and it pays to tradition pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, for me, again, I love his voice in this. If it was just like if it was a cappella, I think I'd really like it a lot more. It's just
Mhm.
something about the instrumental that's dragging it down for me personally. Then there's Rigoberta Bandini. I think that yeah, that's like the kind of the fandom favorite right now to win.
Mhm.
Um, I like the free the nipple energy that this has. I
Yeah.
like that it's like a play on words between the word for mother and the word for like booby or breast,
Mhm.
not booby. Yeah, like that. That's kind of energy I'm all for. Um, yeah, that's kind of my personal feelings on that one. I think that that's what makes this one strong. Like that's what
Mhm.
makes it stand out for me. Is just that it has that quality, and it's also very catchy and radio friendly. So it's something
Yeah,
that
yeah.
you'll like want to listen to outside of just being an angry feminist like I am.
Like angry feminist isn't like the first thing that like I would say comes to mind for me when I listen to it. It's just like a kind of a catchy tune that you might hear like in a commercial or something like that. There's a lot of layers to it when you listen to the song. Like there's a lot of like movement from like the different sections. And yeah, just like the wordplay between like breast and mother, like
Yeah.
that's like a lot of fun and like kind of if this were sent to Eurovision with like a Free the Nipple anthem for Spain, that could be quite iconic.
Hell yeah, free the nipple. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm not saying like it sounds like an angry feminist song. I'm saying this is the kind of song you use as an angry feminist to sneak in there and you convert
Mhm.
people to your side of like
It's like draw you in.
draw you in. There's nothing sexual about a nipple. Come on, let's go.
Mhm.
Um, we're pro free the nipple here. Actually, in DC, the nipple is free in DC legally.
Oh,
Tourists
it's
don't.
in San Francisco. It is too.
Yeah, so yeah, we're in two cities that understand. There's nothing
Mhm.
sexual about a nipple just because it's on a lady. Or a female
Exactly.
presenting breast is what I should say. Okay. Anyways, let's go ahead and talk about Raiden. The song. Okay. I got tricked in the very beginning of this song because I was like, ooh, it's kind of like Malice Miser. If you don't know who Malice Miser or Miser is, consider yourself lucky you're not a weeb from like the early 2000s. And then the rest of the song hit and I got a little sad. Um, I like that Baroque sound.
Hmm.
And then the actual song kicked in and I was like, oh, can we go back? Can we go back to that, please? And then I went and listened to Bel Air and I had a good time. Yeah.
So it kind of like lost you toward like the later end of it.
It lost me like right after the Baroque harpsichordy sounding stuff happened. And I
Mhm.
was just like, oh, come on. You could have been like the vampire king of Spain. But no. No.
I kind of like how it progressed, and honestly, like I get it. I get this song. It's not one of my favorites of Benidorm, but it's really good, and I like it. And I like the da 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 da, and it's like it's stompy, and it
Hmm.
feels Spanish. Like it feels really Spanish, and he's a really charismatic performer. I don't discount that this is going to be performed well because, like, just in the music video, how much personality he showed. It's just like you're interesting, Raiden. You're really interesting.
Yeah. And I get why other people would be into it. Just for me, you tricked me. I felt tricked. I felt
You
tricked.
tricked me.
I was like, you tricked me. I thought we were gonna go like I am.
No, he
Yeah,
didn't
no,
stick with it.
yeah, no. But yeah, I do like that it sounds Spanish though, because it has that beat that you think of when you think of Spanish music.
Hmm.
And then
Bullfighty.
the last song competing is Sarah Diop with oh my gosh.
Make you say.
Thank you. Make you say, of course, it's like in English. It's like the only title I can
Mhm.
pronounce um, correctly. I wrote it's another grand anthem. Sexy, it eases into you can ease into it. If you're like me and you were born and rhythmly deprived, you can move your hips at the same time, but you don't look lost and like you don't know what you're doing. Yeah, this is one that I like, and I think that it has the potential to be another grind anthem. What do you think?
I don't disagree that like this could be very good if it does well in Benidorm. I like the verses way more than I like the chorus though. I don't like main hook that's going on, and I think it's what's like kind of dragging it down for me because I was really looking forward to the song, and like the hook when I heard it, I'm honestly kind of disappointed with it. The fact that it's in English, the fact that it's kind of like a weird thing to say in English, like I don't know, that might be like kind of the main detriment to it. But the verses are a lot of fun, the rhythm's a lot of fun, the production's a lot of fun. So I don't know, like if this for like some chance goes to Eurovision, I hope that it's changed to all Spanish because I really don't like the English dimension in
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna go to Eurovision. Um, but I think it for what it is and when it's on, you know, sometimes you just want a song that you can kind of grind your hips into and
Yeah,
pretend
yeah.
that you know how to dance. And that's what this song does its purpose for me. And that's what I want from it. But yeah, those are kind of our thoughts concerning Benidorm Fest 2 semis
Mhm.
and a lot of other stuff. It was a jam-packed stream. Things that we moved around in the middle of our
Uh-huh.
stream that we're going to move on to next week. Next week we'll be talking about Benidorm Fest again, just because the way that the
It's
finalists,
gonna be happening.
yeah, the final is going to be happening the day after we do this, and we'll have the results from the semis. We'll continue talking about other national finals, and yeah, thank you
We're gonna
again.
get some more interviews in, and we're gonna get some more
Yes.
video content, like some new video content, you guys. I hope you're excited
Yes,
for.
yes, we're going to be spreading out what we do instead of just these streams.
Mhm.
So thank you all so much for joining us, and don't forget to like and subscribe. We should probably say that every
Yeah,
stream a couple of times.
we're gonna
Check,
see you on. Hey.
yeah, check out the description box for those interviews, and have a
Just
good
stay
rest of your
posted, you
week.
guys.
Yeah, just stay
Uh-huh.
posted. Follow us on Twitter at EurovisionFam, and yeah, thank you again,
We'll
and
be
bye.
back.
Bye.
Bye, guys.